What's up, guys? Danny from CV Cycles. Another quick video for you. Topic of today is something that I think everybody in the motorcycle industry gets asked a lot, especially if you are a Harley Davidson type of person. So here's what it is. I have beginner people all the time, or people that are looking to get into the motorcycle world, and they say, I went to the Harley shop and I sat on a bunch of bikes and I really like the Sportsters to start because they're smaller framed, they're not as big and heavy, and of course the price is not insane. But is the 1200 Sportster too big of a bike to be a starter bike? Here's my opinion on this. And this goes a couple of different ways, but I'll go over all of it. First and foremost, it depends on your size, whether you know how to ride a motorcycle already and are comfortable on a bike, and how much you want to spend. Now, are you buying new? Are you buying used? Everything is factored in there. So if you know how to ride a motorcycle already, even if that is a dirt bike, a small frame dirt bike, but it does have a clutch and you understand using the clutch, shifting gears, all of that stuff to take off, no. Absolutely not. A 1200 Sportster is not too big for you. Even if you're a small framed person, a female, anything like that, a 1200 Sportster is a great bike for you to start on. That bike you'll be able to ride for a long time. If you don't have plans of taking these great big trips like we've talked about in the past, a 1200 Sportster could really be your first and last motorcycle. I just barely sold a 1200 Sportster last fall. It was an 04 1200 Custom. I loved that bike for everything short range. That was a fantastic bike. So if that's your plan, you may possibly never get a bigger bike, and that's fine because it has plenty of power, it gets really good gas mileage, and it's pretty freaking comfortable. So if that's your plans, go for a 1200 Sportster. Now, price, that's up to you if you want to buy brand new or used. Generally used, you'll get, somebody's put a whole bunch of aftermarket stuff on it because nobody leaves motorcycles alone. So that's all up to you. But a 1200 is not too big. If you are somebody that has never rode a motorcycle, you don't understand a clutch, everything like that, I would probably still say it depends on your size. If you're a big framed person, you can handle that bike, yeah, go for it. Buy a 1200. If you're a small person and you go to pop the clutch and it lurches forward and dies, and we always get that unstable trying to catch the bike before it tips over, you may drop that bike a handful of times, and then you may have a pretty hard time getting that bike stood back up if you're a small person. So in that instance, I would say maybe you should go with the 883. I don't think I would ever suggest anything smaller. The Street 750 is just, it's a stupid bike in the Harley world. The 500 is even dumber. Harley Davidson should not try to go super small. 883 is as small as they should ever go. But certainly, if you're not looking at Honda, sure, go smaller. Or excuse me, not looking at Harley, go smaller. If you're looking at Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, whatever you're looking at, go ahead and go smaller. They make really good bikes. I'm pro Harley, but that's not to say that I don't appreciate or don't like those other companies. I've owned more bikes that are those other companies than I have that are Harley. So don't be afraid to buy something else, especially if it's your starter bike. Especially if it's your starter bike and you plan on upgrading later. Those bikes are perfect, and you may be able to ride one of those bikes for years. You may be able to ride one of those bikes for 15 years. Who knows? Depending on your account, your bank account, and you may get on a bike like that. You may, let's say you buy a VTX 1300, a little bit older because you don't want to spend all the money. You know it's a beginner bike, so you want to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You buy a VTX 1300. You may love that bike and ride it for 10 years, and there is nothing wrong with that because they are great bikes. So yes and no on that. Really, no, a 1200 is not too big. It's a good starter bike, intermediate bike. Anybody that's been riding for years and years and years can ride that bike and be plenty happy. I know a lot of people that love their sport bikes, so they ride a sport bike around town up through the canyons where they're into the twisties and stuff like that, where that bike shines. Then when they want to ride at a comfort level and go on a little bit shorter ride for the day or ride to and from work and not want to be in the wind, they'll ride a Sportster. Awesome. You got the best of both worlds then. So, you know, that's up to you. But in the long run, I think a 1200 Sportster is a great starter bike. In my opinion, get one that's not the peanut tank, because you do have very short range on those, and nobody wants to be stopping at the gas station every half hour. That's an unreal comment. Nobody wants to stop every 100 miles at a gas station if you're going on a longer ride. That's my take on it. But the peanut tanks look really good. You can get that nostalgia look. For me, I just wouldn't go with that if I had a choice. Anyhow, that's my take. Go ride bikes. Just like I said on the helmet video, try on 100 helmets, ride 100 bikes, and don't shy away from any company. Any bike you think is good and that you like, test ride it. You may end up buying a bike that you never thought you would be on because of comfort level and how it rides and how it works better for you. So that's my advice. Test ride every bike you can before you make that choice. But a 1200 Sportster is not too big to be a starter bike. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think. Give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Look us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have a website, cvcycles.com. As always, we got bikes coming. We're getting our license to be able to start selling bikes. That's a slower process, but it's coming pretty soon. So keep that in mind. And until then, until our next video, guys, keep it on two wheels. See ya.